Ever wondered how a simple prayer can change your destiny? This is not just a philosophical musing, but a profound reality that countless individuals have experienced throughout centuries. The power of prayer isn't a myth, it's a dynamic force that can shape our lives in unimaginable ways. It's like a gentle whisper that vibrates through the universe, reaching the realms of the divine. Now imagine intertwining this power with the concept of destiny. Destiny, that unseen force that guides our lives, can be influenced, shaped, and shifted through the power of prayer. Enter Psalm 91, a mystical prayer that's been whispered, chanted, and proclaimed across generations. It's not just a set of verses, but a spiritual tool that can influence one's destiny. Through the rhythmic cadence of its words, it creates a spiritual resonance that can bring about transformation. Now let's delve deeper into the verses of Psalm 91. Psalm 91 begins with powerful affirmations. In the opening verses, we uncover a profound spiritual truth. The first verse reads, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." This verse sets a tone of serenity and security. Let's unpack this. Dwelling in the secret place of the Most High is not about a physical location. It's about a state of mind, a spiritual condition. It's about establishing a deep personal connection with the divine, cultivating an intimate relationship with the Most High. When you dwell in this secret place, you're not just visiting, you're residing, you're living there. It's a continuous, steadfast relationship, not a fleeting encounter. And what is this secret place? It is a spiritual sanctuary, a place of peace and protection, where worldly fears and anxieties cannot reach. This is the place where faith resides, where we connect with the divine on a profound personal level. Next, the verse says, "shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." Here, the shadow signifies protection, much like how a bird shields its young under its wings. To abide in this shadow is to find refuge, to be safeguarded against life's storms. It's a promise of divine protection for those who trust in the Almighty. The second verse continues, "I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust." This verse is an affirmation of faith, a personal declaration of trust in the divine. It's a pledge of faith that leads to divine protection. In these opening verses of Psalm 91, we see a heartfelt call to trust in the divine, to find protection in the shadow of the Almighty. It's a call to dwell in the secret place of the Most High, to cultivate a deep, personal relationship with the divine. It's this deep-seated faith that forms the bedrock of our spiritual journey. These verses affirm the divine protection and faithfulness that comes with trusting in the Almighty. The next verses of Psalm 91 promise deliverance and protection. As we delve into these sacred lines, we're greeted with a profound assurance of divine protection from all manners of danger and fear. Verses 3 and 4 read, "Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." Here, the psalmist uses vivid, comforting imagery, likening God to a protective bird shielding its young. The assurance here is clear: we are safe, we are protected, we are held. This isn't just about physical protection, but also mental and emotional security. It's about finding solace in the divine presence, knowing that whatever life throws at us, we are not alone. We are shielded by a power far greater than any worldly danger. Moving on to verses 5 and 6, they state, "You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday." Again, we see this promise of protection, not just from physical harm, but also from the fear that can consume us. Night terrors, daytime dangers, unseen threats in the darkness, devastating plagues. These symbolize all our fears, all our anxieties, all that keeps us awake at night. And yet, we're told not to fear. Why? Because we are enveloped in divine protection, because we are under a shield that no terror can penetrate, because we are held in a refuge no danger can breach. The significance of these verses is powerful. They are not just words, they are a promise. They remind us that whatever we face, we have a divine protector. They give us courage to face our fears, to overcome our anxieties, to push through the darkness knowing that we are safe, that we are held, that we are loved. These verses remind us that we need not fear any dangers, for we are divinely protected. The following verses of Psalm 91 talk about the divine shield. As we delve deeper into Psalm 91, verses 7 to 10 captivate us with the concept of the divine shield. This shield, much like an invisible barrier, is believed to offer unparalleled protection. It's not merely a physical safeguard, but extends to emotional and spiritual realms as well. Verse 7 reads, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. This verse paints a vivid picture of a battlefield where chaos and destruction are rampant. Yet amidst all this, you stand unscathed. The numbers, 1,000 and 10,000, aren't just random figures. They symbolize the multitude of troubles we may encounter in life. But with the divine shield, these troubles, no matter how numerous or daunting, won't touch us. Verse 8 further says, "You will only look with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked." Here we are reminded that while we will witness the downfall of those who choose the path of wickedness, we ourselves will be untouched. It's as if we are spectators, watching the scenes of life unfold from a safe distance. Following this, verse 9 states, "Because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge." This verse emphasizes the importance of making the Lord our dwelling place, our refuge. When we consciously choose to reside in the protective shadow of the Most High, we are opting for a life of divine favor and immunity from harm. Finally, verse 10 assures us, "No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent." Here, evil and plague represent the various adversities we may face. But with the divine shield, we are promised immunity against such adversities. These verses assure us of divine favor and immunity from harm. They remind us that the divine shield is not a given, but a choice. If we choose to dwell in the shadow of the Almighty, we are choosing a life of divine protection and favor. The concluding verses of Psalm 91 promise divine assistance and rewards. Here we delve into the profound depths of verses 11 to 16, where the narrative shifts from a comforting dialogue to a divine assurance. In verse 11 it speaks of divine protection, stating that God will command his angels to guard us in all our ways. This is an incredible promise, a protective shield of divine assistance wrapping us in a celestial embrace. It's a comforting assurance that we are never alone. Even in the darkest of times, we are under the watchful eyes of divine beings, guided and protected. Verse 12 further emphasizes this protection, describing how these angels will lift us up, so we will not stumble or fall. It's a metaphorical representation of life's hardships, the stones we may trip over, the cliffs we might tumble down, but with divine assistance, these obstacles become insignificant. We rise above them, carried on the wings of angelic guardians. The next two verses, 13 and 14, are about overcoming fear and affirming our trust in the divine. They talk about treading upon the lion and the serpent, symbolizing the power to conquer our fears, our challenges, no matter how fierce or cunning they may be. In verse 15, God promises to answer us when we call upon him, to be with us in times of trouble. It's a clear assurance that our cries for help do not fall on deaf ears, but reach the divine, who is always ready to assist. Lastly, verse 16 speaks of longevity and satisfaction. It's the divine's promise of a fulfilling life filled with his salvation. It's a promise of not just a long life, but a life filled with divine favor, satisfaction, and ultimate salvation. These verses from 11 to 16 are not just poetic words, but divine promises. They assure us of divine assistance, a life free from fear, and filled with satisfaction. It's a promise of salvation, a promise of a long and fulfilling life. These verses promise divine assistance, longevity, and a satisfying life. So, what happens when you pray Psalm 91 daily? Well, the act of praying Psalm 91 every day is a powerful practice, one that can significantly influence your spiritual journey. It's like a spiritual revitalizer, a divine tonic that strengthens your faith, instilling within you a profound sense of trust and belief in the Almighty. As you recite these verses daily, you are affirming God's protection over your life. It's as if you're cloaked in a divine shield, safeguarding you from the uncertainties of life, the trials and tribulations that come your way. But the magic of Psalm 91 doesn't stop there. It's not just about protection, it's about transformation. Praying Psalm 91 daily has the potential to shift your destiny, to guide you towards a path of divine purpose and fulfillment. It's like setting your spiritual GPS to a destination of peace, prosperity, and divine favor. Remember, your destiny can shift with a single prayer. Start praying Psalm 91 daily and witness the transformation in your life.